Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Right on, right on. My name is Ali, and I'm originally from Mauritania, West Africa. Today, I am with great people from Senegal, and we have Mr. Pap Ba. Pap is a master drummer. He teaches classes in Middlebury College, Dartmouth College. He's a wonderful guy. And we have Mamadou. We call him Mamadou Turkey. He came from Turkey. You know Turkey? Yeah, he came from there. Not the turkey we eat last night, but the turkey, the country. His name is Mamadou. And we have Mr. Hassan Koli. Hassan is from Senegal, south of Senegal. He's a master drummer. So we all live here. We all are immigrants, and we came here 2007, 2014, and Pap been here since 2006, and Hassan 2009 or 10, something like that. So we are Africa Jamon, and we will be doing wonderful work today. That's called welcome, which means karibu. You guys are all welcome, and please dance, move around to rock the world. All right? We need a world that's really peace and joy and freedom. So we count on you to work on it. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. Okay. How are you guys? Okay, now we're gonna play the sound. It's like a campus sound, campus song. We will go into make a camp, make a fire. People happy. Camping sound. Are you ready? Oh, somebody sleeping. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Fatuyo, si jajalado. Fatuyo, si jajalado. Fatu, fai fai fatu, fatu kelema si fatuyo, si jajalado. Fatu, fai fai fatu, fatu kelema si fatuyo, si jajalado. Ihu, si jajalado. Fatuyo, si jajalado. Fatu, fai fai fatu, fatu kelema si fatuyo, si jajalado. Si jajalado. Fatu, fai fai fatu, fatu kelema si fatuyo. Fatuyo, si jajalado. Fatuyo, si jajalado. Fatu, fai fai fatu, fatu kelema si fatuyo, si jajalado. Si jajalado.
How you guys doing tonight? Yeah, Mr. Hassan, drummer from Senegal. Right on. Yes. So Hassan just came from New Hampshire, and I came from New York. Yes, so just to be here, because Shannon is a wonderful guy. My English, yes. We couldn't have done it without him. You know, he been really, really teaching us English, the way to talk to people, the way to be nice, the way to learn this culture. If it was not him, I won't be successful. So reason why I left my family there to be here. and I asked them to keep the rest of the turkey. I'll be
As-
right back.
no, we left the family. It's not you, only
All
you.
of us. Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna go next. I want people, you know what I mean. You don't know what I don't. You know this what I mean. And I want this. All right. Nasaka ya sangabe, nare ni goria bula, yaral jasa wal muna, nare ni kaulanga. Nasaka ya sangabe, sojo sangabe, goria bula, wal muna. Kisnanjiya olunyone, kisnanjiya olunyone, nyonda atonyondelo, kisnanjiya olunyone, nyonyangabe, goyabola. Sangabe, Bola Bola, Malbona, Autara, Kisnanjia Olonyone, Kisnanjia Olonyone, Lotonyo Nyembe Nyingife, Ilaha Ilalao. Jana jaruban jama jangene to badaro avore dalo lai nakna to badaro. Okay, now I want to sing. We're gonna sing all together. Are you ready? I know people it's gonna be surprise for people. May this sing, people know it. I'm swear. Are you ready? Ole, 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 ole. Now, let's go, please. It's ole, 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 louder, louder.
Ba, master dancer from Senegal. Guys, this is the last one. Let's Mr. Ba.
Yeah. Okay, I want people can dance a little bit, follow the. Yeah.
What's happening? That I see, can I hold it like this? Will it work, right? All right. He asked you guys to dance, and I see everybody's just sitting and just clapping. You know, I think West Africa, in Africa, we love to dance. Everything we share, love through dance and music. So it's really hard for me as a dancer to be sitting here playing for you guys, and you guys are just doing this. Just move it, okay? So what I'm going to ask people to just, I want people to just join me here, and we're going to do some simple move from Africa, because we're going to do some African party today, okay, guys? All right, that's cool. Oh, yeah, that work. So just, I want to have people just, just come around here. We're going to do some African dance today, please. Just join me on the stage here. We're going to do some dancing. Just jàppal ma benn rythme rek bu sew nii rek. Non, defal jéem rek moo gën a yomb quoi. Everybody's ready? There you go. It's much better now. You see, it's better than sitting here and just doing this, okay? All right, so just follow everything I do. Just, we're gonna try to take it very cool. All right, new boy. Okay, let me put this back here. I'm gonna be up here so that everybody can see me, okay? So what I want first is just, make sure that everybody has some space. So that they don't need to get on the
Thank you, everybody. You give us a lot of energy to do that. It's in the time, but later we're gonna do more. Okay? Thank you so much.
So what we did is we took some stories of real people, and I want to fictionalize them a little bit. We changed some of the details, but the basic facts are true, and the quotes are true, and the ideas are true. Sometimes we change names or countries just in case people were shy about being identified. But these are, together, the songs and the speakers tell a story that starts with the creation of the universe 4.54 billion years ago and continues to today in Vermont. It goes from the creation to people's native country, to a war that makes the narrator flee to the horrors of a genocide, a refugee camp, coming new to this country, facing trials and difficulties, and ultimately either deciding to make a new life here or a new life someplace else. And so that's kind of the arc of the story that you'll get through the songs and through the speakers. And I guess I just wanted to say one more thing is that, our perceptions of the world are, to other people, are based on who we meet and who we get to spend time with. And it's been wonderful to spend time with all the folks here. And I also got to spend some really cool time in different places abroad. And so I just wanted to tell a quick travel story about that. So I was in the Peace Corps in the Kyrgyz Republic, which is in Central Asia, from 1995 to 1998. It was a relatively new country. The Soviet Union had broken apart. And I first got there to the south part of the country, and things didn't work out with my placement. I was teaching English. They couldn't find a classroom for me. There were other problems. So they moved me up to the north of the country. There was some bureaucracy, so I was kind of left to fend for myself, to get on an airplane and to fly and then to take a bus to my new village and to do all this kinds of stuff. And I decided in the middle of it, I was like, well, it's taken me 2 days to do this. I might as well go see a friend. And I knew the name of the village where my friend was staying, and that's all I knew. So I took a bus to the airport, and my Russian, my Kyrgyz were at this point. I'd been there 3 or 4 months, and so I saw the bus, and I could read and I took the bus to my friend's village, and we stopped and we got out, and it was dark, and it was a big city, and it wasn't like I imagined my friend's village being, because he had described it as like having all sorts of animals and farms and not many houses. And so I was confused that I was in the middle of this pretty big city in the bus station part of town, which is not always the nicest part of town. And so I picked a direction, and I thought, well, the village has got to be close. And I started walking, and the city just went on and on and on. And I kept walking, and it got darker and colder and started to rain. And I just had my backpack. And besides my backpack, before I went to Peace Corps, my father gave me, as a present, a Swiss Army knife. And in the first couple of months in Kyrgyzstan, I had lost everything and dented the blade. So really the only functional thing I had was the corkscrew, so you could open the cork on a bottle. So I was, it was dark, and I'm in the kind of rough part of town, it looked like. So I took the corkscrew out and put it in my hand like this to get anybody if they came and got me, even though I hadn't been in a fight probably since about 3rd grade or 4th grade. And I flagged down a car, because in this part of the world, you basically can say to somebody, hey, stop, please give me a ride. So I stopped somebody. It was this guy, and I said to him in Kyrgyz, can you take me to Kiziljuldis? And he said, sure. And I said, awesome, great. How far is it? And he said, oh, it's like 80 kilometers. Which is like 50 miles. I said, oh, okay, how long is that going to take? And he said, oh, about 3 hours. And I said, oh, okay, so where are we now? What part of Kyrgyzstan are we in now if it's so far? And he said, oh, we're not in Kyrgyzstan, we're in Kazakhstan. You're in a different country. Because what I didn't know is the bus actually goes into Kazakhstan and it stops there, and you have to get on a different bus and go back into Kyrgyzstan. So now I'm somewhere in Kazakhstan. I don't know. This is, before phones, before everything. I don't have anything. I don't have any way to communicate. This friend doesn't know I'm coming, by the way. So I'm just kind of out there. And I said, okay, well, let's go to, what will you charge me? And he said, $10. And I was like, okay, it's pretty much my only choice. I'll take it. I'll take the $10. We get in the car, we start driving around. He picks up 2 other friends who get in the car with him, 2 big guys. And we had been talking in Kyrgyz, and then he switched, and he started talking in a language that I didn't understand. And so I was desperately trying to communicate that I'm a Peace Corps volunteer, and we don't make a lot of money, and I'm trying to help, and please don't kill me. And I think what I said was something like, I'm a very kind, lonely, hungry school. And together we are friends, yes. And he pulled into a driveway in some pretty sketchy looking projects with all the lights blown out and broken windows and glass and stuff like that. And he just said, get out of the car. And I said, okay. And at this point, I took my corkscrew out and held it here and thought, I'm going to get him and then get him. And then I wasn't going to do that. So I just started walking in the front entrance and up to the 4th floor, and it's completely dark. And I had been telling them all about, it's taken me 2 days to get here, and I had to switch my site, and blah. And I had no idea what they were understanding. And as I was walking down the hallway, I'm thinking, all right, well, this is the end of me now. And the door opened at the end of the hall, and it was a woman. And I was so happy that it was a woman and not another huge guy. And the guy says from behind me, hey, honey, this is Chen, and he's a Peace Corps volunteer, and he's been traveling for 2 days, and he hasn't eaten. So before I drive him to his friend's village, can we cook him dinner? And they took me in and cooked me this feast and fed me and drank, and then he drove me for 3 hours without any permit through back roads into Kyrgyzstan. Now it's 2 o'clock in the morning, went neighbor to neighbor till we find my friend, and then wouldn't take a penny for it, and left, and went back. And I never ever saw him again. I never even got his name. So that's kind of informed my view of the universe. And hopefully, if we folks here run into folks from other places, we can treat them in the same kind of way, so they can have the same kind of view of us as we do of them. And that went a lot every day, yeah. And that went longer than I thought. And I can see my wife going, "Oh God, it's going to be a long enough show. Just cut it." You'll get your chance to talk too, okay? But we would like to start off with the first piece. So let's get the band up here.
We have some bad people in this country that have to go out. We're going to get them out. We're going to secure the border. And once the border is secured, at a later date, we'll make a determination as to the rest. But we have some bad hombres here, and we're going to get them out.
Yes. Because someone's different than you, they say that they are bad. That's really sad. That's really sad. Just because somebody's different than you say that they are bad. That's really sad. That's really sad. We came together, tell the stories of you, the struggles in life, the journey, and all they went through. The quantity that claims that it's great, but political leaders saying things that make major mistakes. Divide a cargo, not the route to be taken. Faking the funk, ain't the votes, file snakes and hands shaking. Debating only be spreading the lies, destroying lives, to be some leader in some eyes. Just because somebody's different than you say that they are bad. That's really sad. That's really sad. Just because somebody's different than you say that they are bad. That's really sad. Now we say that immigrants are to blame for mistakes we're making, taking blame right off our name. Come on, diversity's the great in this country. States that's chasing the overland to migrate. I guess we're the bad hombres, speak up, shedding light and spread the might, yeah, the fear of us. Just supporting our own, the human race in this place we call home, the obstacles we face. Just because somebody's different than you say that they are bad. Just because somebody's different than you say that they are bad. That's really sad. We are Bad Hombres. Make some noise for Ali Dang and the drummers one more time. That was incredible. wake up. Your consciousness needs a shake up. We need to wake up. Your consciousness needs a shake up. We need to wake up. Your consciousness needs a shake up. We need to wake up. So you think it's significant, electrons and atoms that you are living in. Your body or anybody, you're probably not focused on what's important. Your thoughts, somebody come on. Your mind is limited, not limitless. Knowledge and wisdom, where are you fitting in? To your only advice when they are feeding you on your electronic device. We're all the same, just with different names. Where we come from, the drum beats a thing through our veins. Some domain shame for the way another one looks or speaks, that is insane. We need to drain those thoughts, connect those dots, we live without strife. We need not strain those thoughts and tie these knots so we can live a strong life. Consciousness needs a shake up. We need to wake up. Your consciousness needs a shake up. We need to wake up. Your consciousness needs a shake up. We need to wake up. Wake up. Shake up. Wake up. Shake up. Wake up. Shake up. Wake up. Wake up. Make some noise for the band, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, American. I think American still, there are, of course, people usually watch what they see on the TV. But what I'm telling is sometimes these news or media makes money from the bad news. And it's a country with a very old heritage, full of story, full of bravery, full of passion. You know, a lot of like other countries. So very hospital people, brave people, very faithful and happy people, still very generous. They have nothing, but they offer everything they have. If you go to their homes, you have like maybe maximum 20% of these bad guys, but the 80%, they are really good people. They want their country to be developed. They want to live part of their international society.
Smell of incense, descendants of a line that's never left the village. Harvest, don't pillage, the wellness to live life without a thought. Most things are grown and seldom bought. Thought through religious beliefs. Decree to keep the faith, we're still keeping the faith in just to breathe. And what we need to give life is to succeed. Family is all we need, these four walls, the crops we will receive. Floods will devour in just an hour, but provide pools for multiple families to shower. Cower not in any destruction, the function of life will throw its hand. Yeah, what's your plan? Up with thoughts and thinking while time is shrinking. Heavy blinking to give the effect of sudden change. Rain pours down to cleanse, but the problems stay the same. Just keep stoking the flame. Cause in my country, I follow the ways of those before me. No need exploring, like the birds above my village, we are soaring. 'Cause in my country, I follow the ways of those before me. No need exploring. Like the birds above my village, we are soaring. Soaring. Exploring. Cause in my country, I follow the ways of those before me. No need exploring. Like the birds above my village, we are soaring. Cause in my country, I follow the ways of those before me. No need exploring. Like the birds above my village, we are soaring. Of those before me, no need exploring. Like the birds above my village, we are soaring. 'Cause in my country, we follow the ways of those before me. No need exploring. My country.
Hi, this is Bassam. I'm from Iraq, and I was actually in the Firdaus Square when the Americans just entered my country, when they entered Baghdad. They toppled the statue, and I arrived with my bike, just watching people hitting the statue with their shoes, and watching all the American tanks just accumulated in that square, because the rest of Baghdad was kind of deserted. There was no army, there was nothing there. I just stood there, took some photos, and went back home. And I thought, naively, I would say that things would get better. At that point, I thought that actually, and I didn't know that the American forces didn't Google Iraq before coming. They probably didn't do that. Many soldiers were not familiar with what was going on.
On my orders, coalition forces have begun striking selected targets of military importance to undermine Saddam Hussein's ability to wage war.
Heat is sweltering like it's melting your skin. Praying for breeze to roll in. Is it life worth living? Constant bombing and gunshots. The sun's hot, but the city is dark like the mark of a sunspot. Don't want to allow your kids to be leaving the house. Nowhere is safe to stay. Stray bullets will be killing your spouse. Secrets from the government on your behavior. Never thought that you'd be called out or told on by your neighbor. Just trying to be a humanitarian. Sick of seeing all the family and friends that they are constantly burying. Scarier than a bull terrier guarding his barrier. Think of the happy times, the birth of your kids, the day you married her. Wife stayed strong over the rule of Saddam. August 19, 2003, left widowed a single mom. I can't believe that they're gone, being comforted by song, fleeing this land soon as the moon comes over the horizon. War, what is it good for? Nothing. Nothing. War. Man, what is it good for? Nothing. Nothing. War. Nothing. War. Absolutely nothing.
I didn't know the American forces didn't Google Iraq before coming. Probably they didn't do that. Many soldiers were not familiar with what was going on.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
Make some noise if you choose love over hate, ladies and gentlemen. Channing on the drums.
Today I would like to speak about the Syria that any Syrians like to remember. So Syria is a country with a rich of civilization. 7,000 years of civilization. And it's something really, and it's not something unusual to find something when you just build your house from ancient civilization. So Syria is the country with the same size of Washington State. So it has gained a rich of civilization. Damascus is the oldest continuously inhabited city in all the world. So Syria is, again, when you see in Damascus, the biggest mosque is one of the oldest temples in the history. It used to be Apollo temple with the Roman, and then John the Baptist, and now is Al-Amawi Mosque. So I'm coming from south of Syria, Suwaida, where we have in all Syria the mosaic of cultures. We have about 23 different religions and ethnicity living in one country. So what I'd like to remember about my Syria, I'd like to remember my students at the university. I'd like to remember the good people that I met in all Syria, from Hims to, this is Hims, where people are really have a kind of humor, to Araka in the north, this on the Euphrates River, to Tartus on the Mediterranean Sea. So this is Syria that every Syrian like to remember. Again, with Syrians that they have hosted a lot of refugees around their history, starting from Armenian refugees, Palestinian refugees, Iraqi refugees, and still, sometimes it's hard to see that when Syria needs other people to help, the door are shut on their faces. So let's pray again with our all humanity and civilization to bring all the world to peace, especially my country, Syria. Thank you.
On June 10th, 1994, day 65 of the 100 Days of Hell, the Rwandan genocide. After repeatedly referring to acts of genocide during a press conference, Christina Shelley, U.S. State Department spokeswoman, is asked by a reporter,
How many acts of genocide does it take to make a genocide?
The use of the term genocide has a very precise legal meaning. Although it's not strictly a legal determination, there are other factors in there as well.
Draped over wood, this is your home. Humidity killing me, when will it stop? It's unknown. In line to get water, saying they're low. How much longer are we gonna be living this way? I don't know. Feet are aching from the miles that you walk, from firewood to cooking food and boil over the pot. It's essential to life to keep you warm in the night and feed your soul to the bone. Yeah, it's alright. This is life in the camp. life in the camp. Yeah, this is life in the camp. Oh, yeah, life in the camp. I'm talking about the life in the camp. Make sure your spirits are high. Disease is spreading us all. Malaria, mosquitoes are wall to wall. Can't find solid work to get some money. Nothing funny from being away from your kids while the meter's still running. Hope dies cause the stress rise. Find means of feeling better with booze is what you can buy. No privacy and thoughts for yourself. Like what you belong. Stay strong for the good fight with no help. Cause this is life in the camp. This is life in the camp. Oh yeah, life in the camp. But what I'm talking about today is life in the camp. This is life in the camp. Life in the camp. Appreciate you guys coming out tonight. What's Riot?
As a single woman called Zenab Kuyate, getting my visa was one of the best things that ever happened to me. In 2009, I left Guinea to Benin. I worked hard to save money, and also I take care of myself. I got help from my friend who I met in Benin. He helped me and also sent me to get a visa at US Embassy. When I got in Benin, the only thing I was looking for is how to realize my dream and make it become true. The dream was to be in US and to go to school and become a nurse. So I didn't waste any time. Because getting the visa was the only way to be where I am now, a student in Vermont adult learning. I know I have the courage and the faith in myself to accomplish this dream because I had had many challenges in my past and I have overcome them. After I got to America, I live in New York City. I was lost. I don't know what to do because I was new in this big city and I was seeing many things I had never seen before, and also I couldn't speak English. Everything was new and confusing for me. Later, I met some people from my country, and they helped me to find a job. They also taught me about green card. They told me, Zenab, you have to find your green card, or one day you couldn't be deported. One day they could deport you and send you back to your country. When I hear, I'm like, no. Nobody can send me back to my country. I will kill myself before that. So I work hard. They helped me to find a job. I start working. I talked to some of them who are telling me, I'm here since 4 years ago. I never go back to my country. I left my wife. I left my kids. I never got this green card. I feel really bad for them. Luckily, I got my green card and I'm here today. So I start working. Later, I met my, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I start to go to school. Year after, I met my baby father. We become to be close and close. By the end, we married. I got pregnant. Things become bad between us. So I decided to move in Vermont. Coming to Vermont was one of the best things I never do. Because I got all the help I needed. In addition, I got help from my friend I met here. My baby was born. I started to go to school and work. I'm still going to school at Vermont Adult Learning, and I'm preparing to get my high school diploma. I also working at VNA, Visiting Nurse Association. All this experience in my life has made me strong and stronger because I go through so many losses. The fear of being the fear of being lost in this in a big city, the loss of not being able to communicate in another language, and the letting go of my first husband, and the security of being married. Life surprised me and showed me how strong I can be. I will never abandon my dream until I get my nursing license, because one day I'm going to say, yes, I did it, with a big smile on my face. Thank you.
Zainab. So when Zainab contacted me and I told her the day of the show, I said it's November 24th, and she said I'd love to come, and it's also my birthday that day. Zainab, is that correct? So can we do what we do here in the States? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zainab. Happy birthday to you. Samara, can you do this? Can you give this birthday cake to me?
If you really wanna go, 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 if you really want.
What's that? The time has finally come. Status has been given. Ridden of the camp I've been living, but still wondering if this is the right decision. Vermont, what is that place? What kind of weather, terrain, what obstacles would I face? Meeting with a man who was a trainer, training me to adapt to a new land and not be a stranger. But he doesn't know the first thing about me, down in my knowledge and things that are around me. Treating me as if I'm numb to all conveniences some of them have had for years in the land that I come from. Gotta raise enough money to go. Can work a bit to get a little of it though. But they tell me the rest will be on loan. Paid back to the government of my new home. Of my new home. Do you really wanna go? If you really wanna go, then show me that you really wanna go. Do you really wanna go? Or do you really want to go? Yeah, if you really wanna go, then show me that you really wanna go. Yeah, do you really want to go?
If you really wanna go, 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 if you really want, if you really wanna go, if you really want, if you really wanna go, if you really want, if you really wanna go, if you really want, if you really wanna go, if you really want, if you really wanna go, if you really want.
Do you really wanna go? If you really wanna go, then show me that you really wanna go. Go. Yeah, do you really wanna go? Appreciate you guys coming out here tonight.
My name is Don Aviar, and I am from the Philippines. I'm 27 years old, and I came here in 2014. I am a professional dancer. Teacher, and a choreographer. I teach different form of dance, classical ballet. I don't know why I'm so emotional right now. I'm sorry. I do contemporary and jazz. I moved here to America because I saw a better life here. At first I was scared, and I was thinking it's gonna be hard for me to settle here because of my skin. I was different. and I have an accent.
Why do they stare? It's 'cause you're beautiful. Why do they stare? It's 'cause you're beautiful. Why do they stare? It's 'cause you're beautiful. Why do they stare? Why do they stare? It's 'cause you're beautiful.
Staring at me.
Why do they stare? It's 'cause you're beautiful.
Staring at me.
Why must they stare? It's 'cause you're
You know, within the year I moved here, I got my first job. And from there on, I am just progressing. Now I teach in many different studios, not just in Burlington, but all over Vermont. And I think it's great to know that people like me, as an immigrant, you know, I'm inspiring many young American dancers and artists, and they look up to me. They don't see me differently from the others. They respect me. The U.S. has provided me work, teaching, dance, the opportunity to buy my own house. The feeling of security in that house. You know, clean streets, you know, free of debris. And also the pride of seeing my husband in the audience at my recitals. You know, I think the baseline standard of living here in America is higher than in the Philippines, certainly. And I assume likewise most of the world. And once you've started your journey here in America, the only way for you is to go up, provided you work hard. And I'm just so thankful that I'm here right now. I'm so thankful for what America has to offer and for the opportunity to follow my dreams. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Hi. So I thought in light of the event tonight, I wanted to share a little bit about something big that happened in my life earlier this year. There was a big milestone. I've been living in Vermont for about 10 years. I'm originally from Canada, and a few months ago, I passed my interview and my test, and I officially became a citizen of the United States. You're welcome, America. Because I thought now's a good time. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the news, but things are going pretty wonderful around here. So I just want to be part of it. So the interview was interesting. The immigration agent, she started out by asking me some personal questions about my family. She said, "Do you have any kids?" And I said, "Yes, I have 2 daughters." And she said, "Do you have any more?" Which, I don't know about you, but usually when someone asks me how many kids I have, I give them one comprehensive answer. So I said, "No, just the 2. And then she said, almost like woman to woman, she said, "You don't have any other babies in any other countries?" I said, "No." I think I'd remember, for the younger people in the crowd, they come out of your vajingling, so it's memorable. So then we moved on in the questioning. She was interested in my criminal history, particularly interested in my history of kidnapping. Not my history of being kidnapped, but interested in my history of kidnapping other people. She said, "Have you ever kidnapped anyone?" And I said, "No." And then, in case I didn't understand, she broke it down for me. She said, "Have you ever detained anyone against their will?" Still no. And then she got her body into a little bit. She said, "Have you ever held anyone where they didn't want to be?" No. I handcuffed a guy to a bedpost once, but I'm pretty sure he wanted me to do that. So I don't think that counts. And then she got to the big question. She said, "Are you a terrorist?" And I thought, that's how they check? And she said, are you a member of any terrorist organizations? I thought Costco, but I don't think that counts. So I said, no. She said, have you ever run guns for terrorists? I barely know what that means, so I'm pretty sure no. And then she said, do you like terrorists? No, I do not like terrorists. I do not like them in a boat with a goat. And that's my story. It's not going to bring you to tears like Zaneb, okay? But that's my story. Thank you very much.
Feel like home is finally mine. Accepted where I worship, I sleep, I dine. Find neighbors who seem to find the time to help when they can or just give a simple hi. Able to reunite with family. Can it be so simple and not chaotic like a stampede? But we are here, that's all that matters. Building a life so our spirits don't get shattered. Watching the wheels turn, I find I start thinking what home is really mine. Watching the wheels turn, I find I'm thinking what home is really mine. Watching the wheels turn, I find I'm thinking what home is really mine. As the wheels turn, I find I'm thinking what home is really mine. The wheels turn, I find I'm thinking what home is really mine. Really Beautiful green hills is where my dream builds. We're thrilled before our travels, we're built. Still reminiscent of the true home that we left. Best to look forward, but still I digress. Feel like I'm being pulled, emotional tug of war. Stored all the feeling, hopping and bored. Feels like I'm searching for more. Uneasy feeling right down to my core. Right down to my core. Right down to my core. Down to my core. My core. Watching the wheels turn, I find what home is really mine. Watching the wheels turn, I find what home is really mine. Watching the wheels turn, I find what home is really mine. Really mine. Yes, we're happy everybody in this room shares the same home.
I live between two things that one of them is the country that does not exist anymore because I left at that point of time in 2005, and my country, my image of my country, my city just stopped at that point. It was frozen in time. I left, things went on there, but in my mind it's still the same. I didn't go back after that to update this image. Probably I will never do because I still liked that image. But probably when I tried to update it, I would not like the results. So just keep it there, memorized, and with all the memories related to friends that do not exist anymore there, and they left, most of them. The places I used to go to, book market, the having breakfast at 5 a.m. in the morning in a very traditional kahi place, or having some very natural, having a natural juice. One of my favorite stores, probably Shannon knows that, because we went there many times to have that juice. I prefer to keep that image there. It's not an image that keeps me from going on, which I try very hard to do. And just I keep go on and create a new parallel reality here in my new place, and it's just great. It's just not getting trapped in the mental ghetto, which is, I think it's very important to a person who left his country to do. You get trapped in a ghetto, in a mental ghetto, and you would never leave your country. You just stay there forever, trapped. You are not living the moment. You're not living the new country where you are in, where you are right now, and you can't go back. So it's a very unsettling idea. I prefer not to do that.
Thank you very much. You know, you don't even know how great it is for us to be here. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about my story. I immigrated here in 2007. And when I came, I landed in Washington, D.C., and I lived there for 2 years with my wife. And then in 2008, we had a baby. She's now 9 years old. She goes to the Sustainability Academy. Yes. And I experienced so many different things. I experienced understanding this culture. I experienced trying to fit. I experienced discrimination. I experienced the lack of knowing the language, this beautiful language that we call English. I experienced all of that. But I knew that the best thing that I could do is for me to try to build a better future for my child. A wonderful future where she feels she belongs, where she feels she can strive, where she feels she can get education and to give back to the community. Where I come from, Mauritania, West Africa, those opportunities did not exist for me. As a college student, I worked in restaurants. I worked as a teacher. I worked in cleaning companies to give for myself because my dad left when I was in middle school in 1993 and went to Europe. My mom died in 1989 because there was a war between Senegal and Mauritania, because the Arabic people said, you don't belong here. And because my dad was in Russia, I came from an educated family. Just to say that education doesn't give you a better future. But here in America, education is the best thing that you can do to your children, that you can give them. So in 2008, my wife and I, we immigrated and we came here because she wanted to be closer to her family. And by the way, my wife is as white as many of you. She's actually a redhead, you know what I mean? And she found me in the desert of Africa. And I found her and I'm like, she was unique, she was different. Yeah, because it was really hot. It was really dry. But when I see her among all the other men and women from Africa, she was different. And I told my cousin, you know this woman, I don't know her, but I will marry her. I'm telling you the truth right now. I said I will marry this woman. So in 2008, when we came here, I'm telling you the truth, I did not like Burlington, Vermont. I did not like it at all. And do you know why? Because it felt like it was, that's one reason. That's one reason. But it was not modern. Where I came from, you don't see electric poles hanging out. No, it was all buried underground. But here, the culture, the people, it was different, and I didn't like it. Because where I come from in Washington, D.C. to Vermont, it was, again, so different. The people were shorter, the buildings were shorter, but we had the lake, though. The Lake Champlain was beautiful. That was my only place where I can go and feel that I'm alive. So I persisted. I worked hard, and I studied in the after-school program at J.J. Flynn Elementary School. And I worked very hard. My second year there, I was given a position to become the director of the Recreation and Nutrition Program for Parks and Rec at Franklin Square. I did it for 2 consecutive years. In 2010, I was given the opportunity to lead an after-school program at C.P. Smith Elementary School. And 1 year, the next year, I was given the opportunity to become the family outreach coordinator for the Burlington School District, where I work with all families, whether you're white, whether you're refugee from Nepal, whether you're refugee from Somalia, I work with you to understand the system. I work with you to give you access for after-school program, to work with you to give you access to after-school program, to summer school programs. And through that, I created a wonderful program called the Parent University Program. And that's how I met Mr. Shannon. Please give him a round of applause. And with this guy, we rocked Burlington. We rocked Vermont. we created a wonderful program where we give families an opportunity to understand the American system, to learn about nutrition, to learn about parenting skills, to learn about technology, to learn so many great things, to learn to be part of this community. And there is a wonderful guy, is he here too. His name is Ashraf Alamaturi. He's like right there. Yes. So through the Parent University program, I understood that there was still a couple of things that we needed to do. How do we make sure that every single Vermonter, every single Burlingtonian can strive, can be part of the process? Because this is where we live now. This is where we work. This is where we raise our children. And this is where we will die. And this is, I would take guns and fight any other country that said America is not a good country. I'll say no. This is a country that gave me the way, that gave me freedom, that gave me a path of a better life. And believe it or not, right now, I'm a city councilor in Burlington, Vermont. Yes. Because the field was very paved. The field was so beautiful. The field was green. The field is still very prosperous. The only thing that you need, all of us in here, the only thing that you need is to believe and to work hard. You believe and you work hard. You can do it in America. You can do it in Burlington, Vermont. And in 10 years, I'll be your governor. Believe it or not. But where you come from, it's just doesn't say who you are, where you come from. It's a part of who you are. But what you do is who you are. Yes, sir. Your age doesn't matter. Your sexual orientation doesn't matter. Yes. Your religion doesn't matter. What matters is you. You matters. You are. You matter. And what's important, you open your heart, you let every single person in. You let them in because just a human being. I believe in humanity. Burlingtonians believe in humanity. Vermonters believe in humanity. The Green Mountain State, we are going to lead the nation. We stand, yes, we are going to lead the nation. Yeah, we strive. So here's a song. And I ask these people, we never played it together. My friend, maybe they never heard it before. But we are going to dance. We are going to have fun. Yes, Mr. Jeffrey. I remember your name. Yes. So together, this is a song that we call, it's about my grandmother. Her name is Mam Aisha. Mam Aisha. And Mam Aisha told me that, Ali, if you want to do good in life, what you need to do first is to believe that there is no God than God. We all believe in God. Even if you don't believe in God, you believe in yourself and you are God. Yes, you are your own God. And through the lights that you let shine, you're giving peace and freedom to every single person that you meet. Every single person. Together, let's show the rest of the nation that we all Bernie-crats. We are Bernie-crats. Yes, we are Vermonters. Bring something. rus na si géej ba ndox ci baat ba ma dellu seeli mama so tukki 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 wuti ji indi ji du alal ji rekk na ci xam-xam ja topp jangi jangal jangale happy seete du alal ji rekk na ci xam-xam ja topp jang
So you think you got an understanding of life. Family is life is safe. Never be rolling the dice. Never face to be living the fight. And night never shiver to fright. Understand appreciation for food when you bite. Might have sympathy for man but for change. But got no empathy for the foreign man who's trying to make a good name. Struggle is real to stay sane. One on the waist on the drain. And he's still looking at the side of your curtain. But your thoughts are not a fallacy. The challenge will be to eliminate fear. Controlling cannon like a calorie. Temperatures rise and it's hard to cool down. Speak up and then make sure that you're not making a sound. Holding you down, head on the wall, and not dapper a pound. Prejudice thrives when the leader draws a prejudiced crowd. Invade your brain, invade your town. Making it impossible to join our land cause our ancestors too proud.
Interest divested, request an extended understanding. Open up your mind and in time you can try expanding. Landing of realities, punch buckling there. See these perplexed people share perfect peculiarities. Elected goons, hysteria's new vestige. Fueling the fire beyond a new lack of perspective. Who will lack in defense of a dude lacking the pension? Currency is the current burden of natural selection. Who got the bombs? Who drops the bombs? Who got the guns? We brought Saddam. Who caught the drama of a torn nation? Reverse the course of an invasion and then ask yourself whether or not you'd pop or stay complacent. War-torn countries will continue to tear. You don't want them here and yet you just fine with us being there. Proper logic, son. Who you gonna call when conflict comes knocking at your door? Empathy, a word you never heard before.
Make some noise for George, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy to be here.
Bad Hombres finale. It's been an absolute honor being a part of this night. Make some noise again for everybody that got up here and bravely spoke. We appreciate you guys so much. And one more time for the Bad Hombres band, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you guys coming through.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Big shout out to Shannon for putting this whole thing together, ladies and gentlemen.